Hello and welcome back to Spekd, and it's time, that sweet, sweet time for more hobbying, building, painting, and that crafting. Let's see what we've got. It's issue number 72 of Warhammer Conquest, and right now we've got our Chaos Spawn. I've never had these models. I've always seen them and thought, you know what, maybe they do work, maybe they don't. They're so chaotic and random that I was too afraid to pick them up, and now I've got two. So let's get this open and have a look. Sprue check time. I hope you guys have had a great week and that you're having fun. And you got some hobby time and you got a chance to either play, paint or build. It's really important. This don't look too bad. No bumps, no marks. I've been getting a chance to play a bit more, so I've been spending time doing that, and that's been good. A bit more time painting, and I was painting a project that took 4 days to paint. It's crazy. Alright, that sprue's looking nice. Let's check our bases. We've got our bases here. And let's check these over. I like to have a look at the dates, 2012. Okay, so quite large bases, about the size of the Greater Possessed from the Shadow Spear box set. Yeah, I was looking at my previous videos. I was thinking, you know what I miss? I missed the artwork that you guys used to send in, your pictures and your models. So if you want to send in your pictures and I could do a community showcase again, that'd be great, because I actually really enjoyed that when I got pictures from you guys. Now, I do get pictures from some people, but I think we can see that progress from where we used to be to where we are now. Same with this. Now, this issue I think is kind of special because we're reaching the end of the Conquest, and these may be some of the last models that we're going to get as regards especially to Chaos and Death Guard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a video series near enough when this is done to see what we can buy in the future and move on from that to expand our armies and fill out the missing bits that we've got in place. And I think that'd be a really good idea. So let's see what we've got here. So we got our Chaos Ball, the two different types there, which look interesting, and I'm thinking I can make some of these probably with the spare bits that I've got left over from my Chaos models and Demon Princes and what have you. Let's have a look. $7.99, all good. I'm just looking at the design and seeing what I'm feeling about this. I don't know. With this blurred out background, I think it takes away way too much from the color combos that you got here. It doesn't allow it to stand out. I see what they were trying to do, but I think if they just change the color of that container, it would work nicely. But I do like the foreground work. That's kind of nice. If they really wanted to get in there, just kind of like an upshot might look really awesome with these Chaos models, make them look really big. But other than that, two models, $7.99. Chaos Spawn, let's get this opened up. Oops, going too far. So in this issue, seems like we have a lot of lore. And look, Gene Stealer Cults, you know I love me some Gene Stealers. So we've got a lot of stuff on there. So they might be getting something new. Chaos Spawn build, paint, and Grandfather's Gift. Oh, so we've got some a mission there. Again, these missions now are pretty much left up to you. They just give you a story to go with. Chaos Spawn information and lore. Now, with Chaos Spawn, this is the end, one of the possible end results of being possessed by the warp. A lot of people seek power to use the warp. That's the nether realms, or the dream manifest to reality, and they're pulling this power maybe through sorcerous acts or embodying the essence of that chaos god. That's just so complicated. So in other words, by trying to be like the chaos god, they pull through aspects where they connect and they become these things. Sometimes, mainly powerful creatures that can hold a lot of energy of the warp become like demon princes if they've proven themselves. And really, all it is that that person's been erased and they become nothing, and the warp takes over that powerful body. And other times, they turn into these Chaos Spawn. Now, in the game system, they're not very reliable. They're very chaotic, they're very random, and they're just a mess. But when you think about what these really are, and how powerful they would be in the real world. Like, these guys could be immune to las cannons in some cases because they've got an invulnerable save. They've got these multiple limbs. They could take multiple hits of damage. They could take multiple shots. So they could be really effective. Now, in game, these are great for tying up troops and tying up tanks and weaponry and artillery. Cutting them down is really good. Okay, so we're getting the different forms there, because obviously they're for more than one Chaos God. Gene Stealer cults, ooh, getting some heraldry there. They're talking about the different hive cults. So with the Gene Stealer cults, it effectively comes down to one broodlord contaminating a planet, very much like a xenomorph from Alien, except that they have plenty of children, and these children spawn more children, and it could take centuries before they take over the structure of a planet. And once they take over the structure of a planet, it's just basically waiting until the Tyranids get close, then to release the signals for an uprising. And when the uprising starts out, they just basically take over the planet, or they wipe out any opposition. So when the Tyranids turn up, they just get to eat a free meal. Now, unfortunately, the Gene Stealers don't know this Gene Stealer cult, and they just think it's the Star Gods coming. The Patriarch bails, gets onto any escape shuttles that it can, and leaves, and starts the whole process again once these guys get eaten up. So these are some nice pieces of artwork here. You know, one of my favorite kind of Gene Stealer cults is the Hive cult. I can't remember the name of it now. Oh, I was lost. Oh, it's purple and white. There you go. Yeah, the Hive cult. That's my team. And I've used a lot of Cadian models and just kind of like purpled them up to make them look more Gene Stealery. But yeah, that's a nice display there. Stormhawk Interceptor. I think last time we looked at the gunship, I can't remember, Storm Talon. Yeah, I think it was a Storm Talon. I can't remember offhand. We've got the stats there and firepower ratings. Still love those. These, I haven't actually got one of these myself personally, and I think they only really work well with the Dark Angels. I'm just trying to think there. I don't think they really work too well with other teams. Maybe Imperial Fist with the ignoring of cover. Other than that, mechanics wise, there's a lot better weaponry out there that you could take for the points. Chaos Spawn. Okay, looking at the build there, simple build. Is it push fit? No, you need glue. So variations, lots of variations. If you've got an additional body knocking around for like spare parts, like a Demon Prince, I think comes with an extra torso, you can use the extra spare parts to make another Chaos Spawn. It's something to think about. And even if it looks weird, a little bit of plastic glue or green stuff might make that look pretty cool. Yeah, because they are very random. So there's multiple ways that you can build these. It doesn't look too bad. Okay, painting these. If I was you, I would have as much fun as possible painting these in the most random way that you want. Because they are Chaos Spawn and they can pretty much be used for anything. So rather than just making it predominantly green for Nurgle, you could do whatever you want with this and make it any color. I probably would use color shifters. So the paints which are like two-toned. That would give me a great excuse to use it for multiple different things and also to signify the chaos. There we go, wash paints. Anything interesting here? Highlight focus. Alright, let's see. Don't see anything else here. Okay, eye work focus. This is nice. I think this is one of the few models you get to do close-up work in the eye. And it's good to see that they've used the starburst effect. It's like mini sun there, focusing outwards with a lighter colour. Because what a lot of people do is paint the base of the eye and then come back in and try and add your flex in afterwards, which doesn't work quite well. It's okay if you're doing pencil work, but when it comes to painting, that's good. See there? Nice. Like something out of The Fly. Little secret hidden eye there. Okay, so mission, story continues, ritual, looks like. Yeah, okay, so we have a ritual site. I think I saw this on Tabletop Donkeys, they did this battle. And unfortunately, the spawn got wiped out right away. So you do have to select the Chaos Spawn for this. You actually have got the minimum requirements there. But other than that, the mission is what it is. I'm not going to tell you what happened with theirs. You should go and see it. And you should definitely play it through. So Chaos Spawn stats there. Nothing special. It is what it is. I think the only thing that's really good about them is the multiple attacks that they have, or the effects. So to close out, They are. Meet Lammy and Sammy. My two Chaos models, Chaos Spawn models. I just went for weird random here. These look like something out of Kingdom of Death models. They really do look absolutely obscene. Now, first of all, when I was building these models, I was a little bit like, yeah, well, whatever, just chuck pieces wherever. But then there's a section that clearly says you can use the arms as heads and heads as arms and things like that. And my mind just started playing. Great ideas to come together. So Lammy here has all eye pieces. So everything that's kind of got eyes on it from the sprue, I put on him. And Sammy, any kind of head pieces, which is related to, so he's got like 5 heads in total. He's even got one on his back. I put onto that model. And there are so many spare pieces left over. And I've got a Demon Prince chest. So somewhere, or sometime in the future, I'm going to kit bash another one of these Chaos Spawns with all the spare pieces and see what happens. Some people think that you need a lot of colors to color a model, and you really don't. Technically, you could use 4 colors to pretty much paint anything, which isn't, metallics. And in fact, you could paint non-metal metals. So technically, you could do everything. But anyway, look, that's them. I hope you enjoyed. Let's get back to the magazine and close out and go from there. Okay, so let's see what's next. We've got our technical paints. I would love to try out some of that Nurgle's Rot. I've never used that before. And the Lilac Oxide is absolutely brilliant. And that's one of my first paints I use for like ghosts on my Necrons, like patina effects. That's really good. So it's nice to have one of these. But I've never tried this. That'd be worth giving a go. And then we have the Tallyman. It's unfortunate that I didn't get this sooner, so I could tell you guys to grab this issue, because at least having a Tallyman on the board can have a lot of effects, especially with like command points. So I wonder what they're going to do with this, and if we're going to get a lot of lore based on the Tallyman. It's one of those character models that they sell separately for like £18 or so. So that's actually quite good value right away. All right. This has been Spekd. I've enjoyed the time. Hope you've enjoyed your time, and you tell me what you think. And as always, PC out.